Hello and welcome to Dee Dee Blooms. I've got another unboxing video for you guys from a vendor I've never ordered from before. And the name of the vendor is Barefoot Orchids. And they are in Florida, in Lohahatchee, Florida. So there's their information. And I got two plants from them, a Cattleya purpurata variety schusteriana and a Cattleychea Lady Bug. So here's some of the picture of what the flowers will look like. I know that's not the best picture. So let's open this up. I'm doing this one-handed. It's the day before July 4th. So I've got my U.S. flag bracelet out. I got this from my mother-in-law years ago that I've cherished. So again, I'm doing this one-handed. Forgive me. Might be shaky. I might have to pause and restart up the video to get set up. But so lots of paper. And here's one orchid, it looks like. Okay, I can feel the pot down here. So I'm just gonna pull this out, and I'm here at my potting table for now. I still have a lot of repots to do this season. So in my front grow room here, I set up a big folding table, and I've just been using this for my potting efforts. And then here's the other one, a lot bigger. So this must be the purpurata. Let's get this one open. That's a good sized pot. That's encouraging. You never know if you're going to get the tiniest of a seedling when ordering. Well, it's still a young plant. Very nice looking young plant. It's wrapped up in this plastic bag so that the bark mix doesn't go flying. So that's pretty good. Looks like we lost some bark. And here's the tag. Looks very nice. So this is one with a white petals and sepals and a very dark purple lip, according to the picture. So I will finish unwrapping that and fixing the bark that fell out, and probably maybe even get a little bit of a support for this one. And then the next one, the Cattleychea. See how this one's looking. This one, the pot feels a lot smaller. I wonder if this is more of a near blooming size versus a blooming size. Although, you know, it's marked as a blooming size in a 2.5 inch. Let's get a little, I gotta use my other fingers here to unwrap. Oh, it's so cute. It's teeny tiny. Very cute. Also in a plastic bag. I don't see any bark that got loose. Cattleychea Lady Bug. Get the tag. That's Prosthechea cochleata crossed with Cattleya cernua. Okay, so I'm going to get these out of the plastic bag, and we'll get them soaking in some, give them a drink, and I'll be right back. So before I settle this in and give it some water, I took off the plastic bag and the rubber band, and unfortunately a beautiful, let's see if I could get this to zoom in, beautiful new root got busted right there. I don't know why it's not focusing very well. See the beautiful root? It's snapped at the base. Very sad about that. But this is in a moss plug, and I'm thinking this was just taken out of its little pot and plopped into this bark. So I am going to totally repot this one with new moss and just get it over with, because this looks old, and see what roots I'm dealing with. I'll use this bark, it looks pretty good, but we'll see. So I'll be back. Okay, so I got this little Cattleychea out of the moss that it was in. You can see it's really, really old, degraded moss. So I'm glad I'm taking it out of there. This is my fresh moss. I'm sure you can see the difference, even though one's really wet. See the difference? And so the little root that cracked totally came off there. So I totally lost that root, not even a chance to get it to branch. And so just taking a look, it's not the strongest roots that arrived. This is where that root was connected. And there is a new little growth here. So I'm hopeful maybe I'll get some new roots from this little growth soon to help bolster this plant, and maybe some new roots, some more roots will grow from this growth. So I'm going to keep cleaning this up. I'm going to get these dried sheath stuff off of the biggest growth. I'm a little disappointed it's not a bigger size, but yeah, I think it'll be successful to grow up in some new moss. And it looks like in this bark there's at least one packing peanut. So I'm going to dump this old moss out and then take a look at the bark. If it still looks good, I'll use that bark that came with it. If it doesn't, I'll use some of my regular bark. And actually, I don't think there's any perlite in here. So if there isn't any perlite, I probably will do a mixture of my bark and this bark. But we'll see. Let me get rid of that stuff first. Okay, let's take a look. I cleaned off my tray. Let's take a look at what's in here. And so there's one packing peanut. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to feel for the firmness of this bark. This first piece is just snapping apart. Next piece. That's a pretty thin one. Try to get, I don't know. That's a little better here. I don't know. I know this is a little bark. It's a lot easier to snap than like a thick piece of bark, but I've got little bark here. Let's see if it snaps just as easy. I've never really tested it. Nope. Oh, the edge just bent, but the middle, I hope this is focusing. I'm so sorry if it's not. Yeah, I can't. It's my bark piece. That's one piece I'm testing. Let's pick another one. It bends on the edges a little bit. And this bark is not wet. Oh, okay, the edge just snapped again. Still, I'm putting a lot of pressure compared to this stuff. Yeah, this is just, I don't know. I think when in doubt, just move on. I'm going to move on from this bark. So I'm going to go toss that out And we're just going to use my new bark. Okay, so I got these two settled in and finished repotting this one. I started with moss on the bottom, and this pot isn't fully transparent, but I did a layer of moss in the bottom, put a little bit of bark, set the plant in, put a little bit more bark to help anchor it, then another layer of moss, and then put about 6 granules of slow release fertilizer pellets, teeny tiny sprinkle of mycorrhizal fungi, and then I topped off with bark. And I've been real careful to not bury this new growth right here. Actually, I want to move this little piece of bark further away. I do not want to smother this new growth. And I also put a dab of cinnamon on that open wound where that beautiful root broke off. Did a little cleaning, getting off some of the sheath parts, or not sheath, well, I guess the sheath of the pseudobulb. I like a cleaner look if I can clean this stuff off. So little cleaning. Try not to traumatize it too much. And I definitely put a good amount of moss in there. It's a good balance, about, I'm going to say 60% moss and 40% bark and perlite. This came in just a moss plug. And like I said, I think when I ordered this, he must have pulled it out of its little pot and stuck it into that those bark pieces. So I'm hoping it's going to be successful. I've been doing pretty good with my Prosthechea types. And so we will watch this one as it grows. And then the Cattleya purpurata, this young purpurata, I did some house cleaning, cleaned off some of the flaky sheaths. This looks like one of the newer growths. I don't think it's fully hardened off, so I'm not going to tear this off just yet. And I put in a top layer of my bark, because the bark that fell out when I put it back in, it just didn't fill up the gaps. I didn't unpot this one, so I'm not sure what is all inside, so I'm taking a little bit of a chance, but I'd like this one to settle in a bit better. So just filling up of these roots sticking out. I plunked some of them further down and got bark on them. I might try to get some stones and put them over the top of these roots too, in fact. So that's most likely what I'll do. It's late tonight. I gotta get ready for bed. I'm pretty tired. But that is my unboxing video from Barefoot Orchids. Again, my first time ordering. I'm not displeased. Kind of hoped this would have been a bigger plant, honestly. I didn't care for the media. This is a fairly good size as well. It's not teeny tiny, so hopefully within a couple years I might get to some blooms. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. And I appreciate everyone checking my stuff out. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.